Hi, my name is Ariel. We're gonna have a chat, so grab your water, your tea, your coffee, your snacks, and let's get right into it. First impressions are always a lasting impression, right? Whether somebody meets you on a good day or a bad day, whether you're just quiet or you're loud, maybe you're quiet when you first meet somebody until you get comfortable and you make yourself. First impressions are always a lasting impression. Well, not always. When someone gets to know you, that first impression it might not last, but the first time someone meets you, they're gonna make assumptions of you. They're gonna have different perspectives of you. I mean, take this. If someone's having a bad day, so they're not, as smiley or as chirpy, or maybe, they're just very irritated at the moment, so they might maybe say something that catches you off guard. You might be like, oh, that person's mean, that person's rude, blah blah blah, right? Because that's the experience that you had versus somebody might have a different experience. They met them when they were actually happy. They were nice, they were chirpy, so on and so forth. That person's impression of that person is gonna be, oh wow, they're so nice, I really like them, they were so nice to me, so on and so forth, right? But when it comes to perspective, people always have perspectives of us, right? And that's not really in our control. The way people view us, what they think about us, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether they're saying things about you that's not, maybe you're in a workplace and people are saying this about you or that about you. It's not true, but that's their perspective of you, right? You really don't have that in your control. Like, take celebrities, for example, right? People make assumptions about celebrities all the time, rumors about celebrities all the time. We don't know these celebrities personally, but we all have different perspectives of those celebrities, whether you like them or you don't like them, but you don't know them. So for celebrities, they can, there are two things that happens when it comes to somebody, rising to fame. They're gonna get hate comments. You're gonna get comments that are distasteful, and it might affect them. It might affect them, especially early on in the beginning, until they realize it doesn't matter anymore. What's one hate comment versus 100 positive comments, right? There are many people that like your work, and then one person doesn't. They don't even know you. They don't know you. You don't know them. You don't know who that person is, right? So why even take them on? Many celebrities, yeah, it might be very hard and they might let it get to them, but then at the end of the day, they're famous. People are always gonna have, the eyes are always gonna be on them. People are always gonna have different perspectives of them, and honestly, they can't control that. They can't control what people on the internet think about them. They can't control what people in real life thinks about them. They can't control that. So neither can you. You can't control it either. So why does it even matter? Why should it even matter whether somebody thinks that, oh wow, she's too quiet, I think she's weird. Oh wow, she's too loud, I think she's annoying. You can't change that. You can try and change it, maybe, but it might not work because that's just not who you are. You can try to change for people to like you, but it might not work. And even if it does, they only like you because you put on a fake version of yourself. They don't like you because you're yourself. They like you because you're not yourself. They like you because you're a different person, a different version. You're masking. So those aren't genuine relationships that you're forming if you change. And don't you want genuine relationships? And yeah, a lot of people mask, especially when it comes to, maybe certain, maybe you're neurodivergent, right? So you mask, over time you develop this mask, and you go out in public, and honestly it's almost a subconscious thing, you just mask, right? But then there might always be somebody that literally gets you, that you just don't have to mask anymore. And Yeah, you just don't have to mask. So it's like, why change yourself because of something that you can't even control, you know? Secondly, this is your life. This is not their life. This is your life. It's not theirs. This is your life. It's not your mom's life, your dad's life. It's not your sibling's life. It's your life. You have the control of your life, especially when you get older and, you know, you grow up. You get to have more control over your life and make decisions. You can decide what you want to do. You can decide if, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be an actor, I want to be a singer, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor. You can decide if you're going to be yourself or be that fake version of yourself, right? Because I mean, yeah, we're always gonna want to be better than ourselves. We should always try to be better than our past selves, right? We're always gonna want to be better than ourselves, but that we're always gonna so yeah, instead of just putting on that mask, just be yourself and don't worry about what others are thinking, because it doesn't matter. You don't have control over it anyway, so why should it even matter? And yeah, obviously you're still gonna think about it, like you're still gonna go outside and you're still gonna think that either on you, that they're thinking this about you. Like, honestly, it's honestly a thing that just happens, like, and you have to try very, very hard to break from it. You have to try very, very hard to reconstruct your brain to stop thinking like that. You really have to try to reconstruct your brain to change how you think. Like, stop thinking that like you're outside and you're thinking, oh yeah, they're judging me, blah blah blah. But if you're thinking that people are judging you, instead of making it negative, immediately in your mind just think something positive. Think something positive. Like immediately, instead of thinking, oh yeah, man, they hate me, just think, no, they love me. I'm that girl. I'm the shit. Like, they love me. Like, instead of thinking that, oh wow, I bet, like, you know, they can notice that pimple that's like on my chin, just think they're not seeing that. Why would they even be worried about a pimple on my chin? Why are they staring at me long enough to notice that pimple on my chin? And it's just a pimple. If they're judging about pimples, something's wrong with them, because it's a natural thing, you know? So you really have to literally, like, as soon as you think a negative thought, just like that, change it. Just like that, just change it. Like, immediately, negative thought, no, positive thought. Like, that's, you have to try very hard to do that too, like, because it's like when you grow up and it's like you've always had these thoughts, you've always felt less than, you've always felt like the weird one, like the outcast. That, when you get older, that low-key doesn't go away. No, it doesn't go away that easy. Even if things change, even if, you know, people aren't outcasting you anymore, people are actually talking to you, like, you know, and stuff like that, like you're making friends and stuff like that, those limiting beliefs are still gonna be there, because your subconscious picks up on everything and then it stays there until, so it's gonna still be there, you know. You're still gonna have that ideology, like, oh, they're judging me, oh no, they probably don't like me, oh my gosh, they're talking to me, like, do they like me, da, 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 do they not like me? It's like, and it's like you're fighting so hard for somebody else's approval, when the only approval that you should be fighting for is your own approval. You should always, instead, why are you striving so hard to be chosen when you can just choose yourself? That's how things start to work out. When you start choosing yourself, that's when things start to work out. So instead of worrying about somebody else's perspective of you, about the assumptions people are making of you, that don't matter. It doesn't matter. Choose yourself. Another thing when it comes to perspective and assumptions, people project. You know that term, misery loves company? Yeah, misery loves company. You ever go on social media and then somebody starts to blow up and then you see people like, oh, I don't even understand the hype. it's like, okay, you might not understand the hype, cool, but then it's like people then just start to say more, and it's like the more somebody gets more recognition, the more people start to dismiss it. It's more, the more people that come and say, oh, I don't even know why you guys like this person, they're this, they're that, they're not even cute, they're not even funny, they're not even, you know. And it's like and it's like, yeah, it happens. Like, people's success always makes you think about your own failures. You could be just as successful as them, but it can still make you think about the flaws in your life, especially because of social media. The thing that we don't realize is everyone is different than us. Everyone's life completely different than us. Literally, nobody is just like us on this planet. Completely different. And we might see this, right? Like, oh man, somebody might like the same age as me, they're so successful, they just bought their first apartment. And it's like, yeah, that's great, they bought their first apartment, but maybe they just didn't grow up in the same environment as you. They had the ability to obtain these things, and you didn't, right? And it's like, it's all different. Like, we're all different. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's life path is not the same. Everyone's life path is completely different. You saw somebody your age or somebody you know getting that promotion, getting that new job that you wanted, getting that whatever that you wanted. Yeah, but you don't know what they did to obtain that. You don't know if they worked hard day in and day out. And maybe you're also working hard, right? You're also working just as hard as them, but maybe it's just not your time yet. Maybe it's not your turn. Maybe you just have to wait your turn. Because a lot of things in life is honestly just patience. Like, a lot of things in life, sometimes you really just have to wait. It's just not, and it's not your turn yet. And it's like, it might be frustrating. You literally might want to give up. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm done. Like, I'm literally done with this. I'm trying so hard, and it looks like they're just getting it so easy. And you don't even know if they're getting it so easy, but it's like, because you're viewing it from the outside, you're like, wow, they're getting it so easy, blah, 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 blah. That's probably not the case. It's like, let me use an example of the gym. Like, you just started going to the gym for like 3 months, right? And now, boom, you see somebody come into the gym and their body is T. They have your dream body, but maybe they've been going to the gym for 2 years. Like, literally, you can be on TikTok scrolling, a gym baddie pops up, and you're like, wow, like, I wonder how long it took her. And she'll be like, oh, it took me 2 years. Oh, it took me 1 year to get like this, and so on and so forth. And it's like, sometimes it might even take them 6 months. 6 months, but remember that they're not you. Especially if you don't have the same body type, they're not you. What worked for them might not work for you, right? And it's like, some people's journeys it takes more time, maybe they got this so that they can get this, and that's just how their journey works. But for you, it's gonna take a bit more time, and that's okay. That's okay. Maybe you have some life lessons to learn along the way. It takes time, and it's okay to just wait your turn. That doesn't mean that you should give up, though. Growing up, they always say believe in yourself. They always say don't give up, and they're not wrong. Believe in yourself. Not even believe in yourself. Know yourself. Yeah, know yourself. Know who you are as a person. Know what you want. Literally know yourself. Like I always recommend journaling. Literally just know yourself. Like somebody ever say, tell me about yourself, or what do you like to do, what are your hobbies, and you're literally stuck, like you forgot everything. Just one day, like maybe every night, just write down facts about yourself. Write down what you like, write down what you want to do, like yeah. So know yourself, know what you want to do, because the person that you're watching from on the outside, you don't even know them. And then if you do know them, you still don't know them. Like, people sometimes don't show us out their full selves, right? And it's like, yeah. And especially when you see, like, let's say it's your friend is so successful and so much and so forth, it might make you think of your own flaws, but it's like, they're your friend. you probably know how hard they probably worked to get where they are, right? You know, and it's not a bad thing to see somebody get what you want and feel discouraged. You know, think of, it's not a bad thing. It's a normal thing. It happens a lot. Like anytime you see someone's successes, it makes you always think of your own failures. But it's just important to know that, okay, literally take a step back and remind yourself, this is their life and this is my life. We're two different people on this earth, in this universe, having to do different things. Even if it's something similar, we're still two different people, and that's okay. I just have to wait my turn. You just have to wait your turn. I feel like I also talk about that a lot. Like I always say, you know, it's not your time yet. Just wait your turn, so on and so forth, and so on. And yeah, this video was about perspective, and you're like, huh, what does this have to do with perspective? It's more so saying that, yeah, in your perspective, it looks like things are coming so easy for them. That, oh my gosh, like I want, like why are they getting all this and I'm just still here stuck? Or you're just seeing them succeed and you're failing. It just shows you that from your outside perspective, it looks like it came so easy for them, but maybe they worked very hard to get where they are. And you just have to wait your turn. You literally just have to wait and be patient. We don't know how the experiences people have, the opportunities they got, and it's just not our time yet. Like we just have to wait our turn. Like in the lobby, you just have to wait. You just have to wait in the waiting room, and that's okay, you know. That's fine. That's fine. Like you still can do other things that you know will help you get to where you want to be. Don't take things personally. This also has to do with perspective in a way, because I have read the 4 agreements, right? The 4 agreements by, you know, Don Miguel, and it was basically, you know, the 4 agreements: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And when it comes to, like, I already basically said, you know, don't make assumptions, or, well, I didn't really say that. I more said, you know, don't worry about other people's assumptions of you, but also don't make assumptions of other people. Just like, you know, like, yeah, as a human being, it's always natural to be curious of people and make assumptions, but, you know, maybe, you know, don't do that. You know, wait, maybe scope this in, you know, see what's really going on, and, you know, maybe find the courage, maybe ask a question. Like, you know, it's okay to ask a question. That's never a bad thing to communicate with others. Like, you don't want to, like, it's very easy for misunderstandings to happen. And then the other thing was, don't take anything personally. It's true, because a lot of the time, it is the same thing with projection. People project a lot. If somebody comes up on the street and says, oh my gosh, I hate you, you're gonna be confused. You're gonna be like, no, they're not talking to me. They're not talking to me, because you don't even know them and they don't even know you. So you just ignore them. Like, so you just ignore them. So basically, still back to the topic. It's like, most of the time what people do and say is because of the projection of their own reality. So that's why it's like, don't take anything personal, because honestly, it might not be you, it's them. It's not you, it's them. And sometimes people, and yeah, and that is just to go, like, people might make comments, like, you might not even know them. Like, you might just be chilling and they say, yeah, I don't even like her, like, she's this, she's that, and they low-key don't even know you. People's opinions of you, especially on social media, doesn't really matter. I know people obviously will have criticism and opinions that are true, depending on who it's coming from, but there's always a nice way to tell somebody something. There's always a nice way to confront somebody. There's always a nice way to just sit somebody down and communicate if they want to communicate, because I always say communication is nothing without understanding. Communication is nothing if they can't comprehend. If you're literally talking to somebody and you know they just getting defensive, like you're not even talking in a way for them to get defensive, like you're calm, cool, and collected, but they're trying to eat you. They just don't want to understand, and honestly a lot of the time it's a waste of time. So yeah, that too. But yeah, don't take anything personal, don't make assumptions. This is your life. People's perspective of you and assumptions of you, like, you don't have control over that. Like, the way people view you, you have zero control over that. You might be mad awkward and people might think that you're weird, but oh well, what can you do? What can you do? Like, they already think that. They're probably going to continue to think that, especially if like they're not getting their time, especially if they're not taking their time to get to know you. Yeah, and plus people have good days and people have bad days. Like, somebody could be going through something, so they're not as chirpy, so you're like, ugh, what is wrong with them? Like, they weren't poor service, like they weren't even, maybe just met them on a bad day, you know what I mean? Maybe you're like, oh wow, they didn't even talk, like they barely talked. Maybe they're literally going through something, like the day wasn't the best to them, so they're just not talking, like they're more internalizing. That happens. Or maybe somebody's having a good day and they're all smiles and happy and chirpy, and they're like, oh wow, they're so nice, da, da, da. Like, people have good days and people have bad days. And yeah, and also, yeah, this is your life. You're the one in control. No one can live your life for you. You're the only person that can live your life. Like, nobody else can live it for you, so you have to do what's best for you, and you have to choose yourself. You gotta kill that urge to be chosen and choose yourself. And whilst yes, it's easier said than done, there's nothing wrong with trying and putting the work in for it to happen. So yeah, I hope this was, I hope I hope this video was helpful in some way and informative in some way, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Because I want the young women to know, the young queens, the young earths, the young boys. I want them to know that there's another choice. I want to be another example of what positivity.